Hello dear viewers, welcome back to Glebe Makes. This is a Glebe Railway Company edition video on Dragonfly, my 7¼ inch gauge electric locomotive. For those of you who have subscribed and following along with the videos, you'll know that one of my main goals was to upgrade the electronic system in Dragonfly to 24 volts to improve both torque and also speed and the power in general of the engine going uphill and being able to pull carriages, because with the old 12 volt system it was completely weak and couldn't do anything. It was pathetic basically. So I've done some upgrades and I'm very pleased about it. It looks all the same from the outside. I have actually repainted the chassis, which is already scratched, but what can you do? But on the inside it looks very different. We've got two 12 volt 110 milliamp hour leisure batteries, which are wired together to produce 24 volts. You can see there, and this is currently upside down on the screen, but 800 watt 24 volt motor, which should produce about 1 horsepower, which is pretty good for what I need. At the moment, I ran out of time before coming to the Andover Model Engineer Society today to be able to wire the horns and the lights back in. So at the moment they're just this wiring loom that I've just zip tied out of the way there. But so far today this is working absolutely brilliantly. I'm very, very pleased. I've had my first passenger and I'm towing a carriage for the first time. This is obviously Andover Model Engineer Society carriage, so any member can pull these and take passengers and that sort of thing. You can see I've got my own coupling bar in the back there from my coupling bar holder in the back slot, and this is working absolutely brilliantly. To be honest, pulling this I can't actually tell any difference with or without it. With the passenger I can tell a bit of difference, but going uphill barely loses any speed. So far today I've not lost any battery power. You can see the green ones aren't that obvious, but the green lights are still lit up, so everything's working really, really well. So I'm very, very pleased. This was quite an expensive upgrade, at least I felt it was expensive. The motor itself, obviously being quite powerful, was expensive in and of itself. The two batteries were over £100 each, but from the purpose of enjoying this hobby, it's so worth it. Last time I came, going uphill, it was actually embarrassing. I was holding people up, but no more, even with the carriage. So as I say, I'm super happy. The other main upgrade that I've done, which you won't really be able to see all that much, but I'll intersplice some pictures and that sort of thing, but you might be able to see there actually, is that the wheels themselves have been welded to the axles, perfectly spaced for 7¼ inch gauge. So if you saw my last video, you'll probably remember that I was moaning about the fact that I kept derailing. And I've not derailed once today, because the wheels before, they weren't actually affixed properly to the axles, so they would slide left and right out of gauge, causing me to derail constantly, which was really, really annoying and frustrating. Made the whole thing very, very unreliable. Fixing this was fairly straightforward, and actually luckily around the same time I was thinking of doing this, I was trained on MIG welding, so it was a brand new skill I picked up, which was super useful. Effectively I just removed the wheels and the collars from the axles, and the collars were effectively completely useless. Again, they just weren't fixed to the wheels in most cases, and the wheels and the collars weren't fixed to the axles. I'm not really sure what went on there, but my solution was belt and braces, weld everything up. So I welded the collars onto the axle after cleaning everything really well. I put the axles with the collars on in the metal lathe to effectively face off and create a perfectly flat, smooth face for the wheels to butt up to, and then I welded the wheels to the collars, and that meant everything was locked in place. And as you can imagine, I measured more than twice just to make sure that I didn't mess this process up, because I want to make sure it was all perfectly in gauge, and double checked over and over again, and thankfully in this case I got it right first time. I also, just a small thing, I put some pointed scrub screws in the ends into the bearings with some divots in the axles to make sure that they hold perfectly in place, because that also was sliding left and right, so I don't need spacers anymore. It's all held in place really nice with some Loctite, and you can see that I've ground away a little channel, meaning that I can access the brush screws much easier, because before you couldn't really tighten them up or get an Allen key in there because they were so inaccessible. So a few quality of life improvements I would say I've done since last time, and you know, more to do. So stay tuned. I'm going to intersplice now some clips of running around the track. I've annoyingly filled up my GoPro already, but I got some cool shots using that, and yeah, enjoy.